OZ, famous hip-hop producer. In our journey to becoming famous and known worldwide, we often crave acknowledgement and look up to our mentors. Journeys of our mentors often enlighten us and guide us a lot on how we should move ahead with our passion and efforts. Though our influencers or ideals have their own unique struggles, it feels similar to ours in one way or the other. Today we are going to unroll the life of a famous hip-hop producer who started from a non-hip-hop hotspot and with no music community around but worked to make his name in the industry. He is none other than Ozan Yildirim. Welcome guys to a brand new video. You are watching Producer Box and I am DMN. There are a lot of things that we don't know about our favorite artists, be it producers, singers, or writers. In fact, any or everything we get to know about them is from social media, and we feel overwhelmed by their success, but there is too much on the flip side that we don't even know. That is why I have decided to bring you everything there is to know about OZ, the Swiss beat god. How did he start? How did he become so successful? Are you ready to rock and roll? I mean to 808? Let's begin. Ozan Yildirim, professionally known as OZ, was born on January 11, 1992 in Zurich, Switzerland. He has Turkish roots and is from the central Anatolian city of Sivas. Starting off from before Rodeo and Drake's 2016 album Views, he officially became a hitmaker after producing Travis Scott's Highest in the Room, Drake's Tuesday Slide, and DJ Khaled's Popstar in Greece, both featuring Drake. Stepping further, he became one of only 6 people to have ever ranked number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 Producers list and Songwriters list simultaneously and sign a multi-million-dollar deal with the Society of Composers, Authors, and Music Publishers of Canada, SOCAN. But wait. Rewind. Aren't we moving too fast? How did OZ start? You might already know a lot of things from what I said earlier, but what you might not know is that OZ, a multi-million-dollar producer, started off by making his beats out of a home studio in Switzerland. For an initial couple of years, he was just making beats for fun. It was just a hobby. He started making beats in 2005 and 2006 and started off with more Caribbean-type beats and even New York, gangster-type beats. On one occasion, when he was asked how he developed his love for producing beats, he replied, "I was living in a small village, and I had no friends in the new area, so I really spent all my time, Monday to Friday, just making beats. That's just how I built my skills." Then in 2011, he started working with German artists, which took the passion from a hobby to something that was a little more serious. He still had a real job all that time because he wasn't sure of his future in music like many of us. He was also putting out his beats on his SoundCloud account in the meantime. From there, he began to climb the ladder of fame. It is relatable, right? The crux of every success story is always passion and effort, and the beginning for OZ was no different. For all the young producers watching, a masterpiece takes a lot of bad beats and devotion. Another important thing is to have an inspiration, a mentor. Like many of us, OZ had his own inspiration, and his favorite rapper was 50 Cent. While talking to an interviewer, he said that he loved the Get Rich or Die Tryin' era and all his singles. In the beginning, he followed Scott Storch all over the place. According to him, Scott Storch and Timbaland were his biggest influences. By 2014 he had already given a lot of hits with popular artists such as Drake, Travis Scott, Meek Mill, DJ Khaled, and Trippie Redd, among many others, and so he became pretty popular with American audience as well as the rappers. In 2015, OZ got to know the German rapper Shindy and decided to collaborate with him, and he still does today. Shindy founded his own label, Friends with Money, in 2019, and OZ works as one of his in-house producers together with Nico Chiara. Around 2016 he signed a deal with Pulse Music Group. What is even remarkable is that he jumped from album cuts to top-tier singles with Scott's Sicko Mode, featuring uncredited vocals from Drake, which shot to number 1 on the Hot 100 in 2018. Nevertheless, unlike the 2 Scott singles, Slide was entirely his production, and he was heavily rewarded for it as because of The Room and Slide, the Swiss became just the 14th producer to notch multiple Hot 100 number 1 debuts. After being debuted at number 1, he now did not have to prove himself, and that encouraged him to be more experimental. In an interview, he found saying that now he will be more interested in new beats and new vibes, and new types of music. While explaining how being at number 1 changes the way artists see your work, he said, "When you don't have number 1s or any name, artists aren't going to trust in your sound. But then again, like OZ, to become number 1, you have to take a low start and come to the front by proving yourself in your art. Therefore, in the end, the key to becoming the best is always polishing yourself and grabbing little opportunities to rise." Following in the footsteps of this incredible artist, young producers should not be discouraged and keep working until the work do the talking. He understands that he could have been well known by now if he used a producer tag or might have achieved this success earlier, but he's avoided slapping his own name all over his beats because, according to him, he wants the work for itself. He also feels that the quality of the music is more important than anything. On occasion around this time, while revealing how he actually creates his beats these days for different artists, he explained he likes to be natural and never thinks too much about the artists. Of course, he always keeps the direction of the artist in mind, but most of the time, he just makes beats and tries anything that he would listen to in private. Then when artists hit him up, he just goes to the beats and listens and tries not to send the artists the type of beats that they normally use. His famous collaborations. OZ is also very well known for his collaborations, especially with Drake, whom he got to know through his manager Simon. It did not take them long to has formed a close relationship with him after they first collaborated on 2016's Views album cut, You With Me? Then, following the success of Sicko Mode, they reconnected on Drake's 2019 songs, Omerta and Gold Roses. Forming an even closer bond in 2020, released 6 more collaborations, Life Is Good, Tuesday Slide, Time Flies, Losses, Grease, and Popstar. And why shouldn't they be together when half of their 2020 releases rose straight to the top 5 of the Billboard Hot 100? Talking about Drake, he's been known to strike close collaborative relationships with producers like Boy Wonder and Noah 40 Shabib, who he kept going back to for every other project in the past. It is quite true to say that Drake felt a similar groove with OZ. True to the context, when Drake released his 6th studio album in the summer of that year, we saw OZ's name all over the production credits. It is because, according to OZ, Drake is the first person to receive his new or in the making beats. He has also worked with Travis Scott, but contrary to his relationship with Drake, he considers his relationship with Travis to be a little more on the professional side, and thus it is normally about the music and just working, giving input, going back and forth, sending beats. From the time he entered his foot in the industry, he has given so many hits that he has a great fan following. People crazily follow him on his social media pages. He is a great artist and a good human being, according to his colleagues. This brings us to the end of the video. I believe OZ is a great inspiration for the producers who might not have big names in the industry to back them but are surely full of talent. Keep playing and keep working on your art. Thank you for watching the video. Please subscribe to the channel to get a sneak peek into the life of your favorite artists and producers.